Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Boss VG Reviews. A long time ago, in a second grade class far, far away, a being by the name of Captain Smiley was born. Flash forward to today, and Captain Smiley has gone from a child's self-invented comic book hero to a comic book has-been. That's the premise for Comic Jumper. You play as Captain Smiley, a comic book hero that's lost all his readers. As the comic's cancelled, Twisted Pixel, the creator of the game, steps in and gives Captain Smiley a machine that will allow him to jump into comics, thus the title, so he can guest star and raise enough money to get his own series going again. The game plays out like a run-and-gun shoot-'em-up/platformer with nods to games like Sin and Punishment and Mega Man. It's divided up into 4 sections, resembling different genres of comic books: modern, medieval, which resembles the Conan the Barbarian comic books or movie, the Silver Age, and manga. They each have unique visual styles that are influenced by each genre. Twisted Pixel may sound a little familiar to veterans of the Xbox Live Arcade. That's because they developed both The Maw and Splosion Man for the Xbox Live Arcade, both critically acclaimed in their own rights. This game, their former creations are felt throughout with funny commentary in the hub world of the game, where there's arcades that showcase both games. This game is perhaps the funniest I've played in a long time. The writing is top-notch, and they aren't afraid to pull any punches when it comes to jokes. One of the funniest jokes that I laughed at was,
"Holy sh**! That's one big ship!"
Would you knock that off? It's getting expensive.
What do you two gents think she's wearing right now?
Hopefully an apron. You could really use a brownie.
Although the game's spectacular in many ways, it does fall short in at least one category. The controls are not as good as they could be. Out of everything, I feel like this was the only thing keeping this game from being perfect. A couple of the control placements don't make sense, such as having both down A to slide as well as a left shoulder button. This can sometimes lead your character sliding if you're holding right plus slightly down and you try to jump. And by slightly, I mean the slightest bit downward. It works much better when you're only using the one on the shoulder button. Also, there were times when I'd like to tilt the control stick one way, and then the character would start auto-running in that direction. I mean, I'm not talking about him taking a few moments to respond. He would actually run full tilt in that direction until I tapped the opposite direction on the stick. This would sometimes cause a few unnecessary deaths. Speaking of deaths, this game is sadistically hard. I mean, I'm a kid of the 90s, so I grew up on hard games, and it doesn't really deter me from playing a game like this. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I love hard games. This game has no health power-ups, so you're pretty much just trying to survive between checkpoints. It gets a little tiring when you've gone really, really far in a level, only to have to start 5 minutes back again, but it could definitely be worse. It could be like Mega Man, where you get 3 lives, plus, whatever you can find, and once that's done, you get a game over. This game gives you an infinite number of lives, but it's surviving that's the real challenge. There's also a ton of replayability with challenges for every level you go through. There's also a ton of unlockables, which include avatar clothing and new levels for Splosion Man, assuming that you downloaded the game before, or even after you get the content. Overall, I strongly recommend that you buy this game. If you're looking to laugh and have some fun, this is definitely the game for you. In the meantime, thanks for joining me on another episode of Boss VG Reviews. I'll see you next time.
Sit back and relax, take a look at all them stats. You've certainly been a busy boy, haven't you? Look at all those shots you fired. All the punches must have made you tired. Oh, come on, man, you could have hit star more than that. Look at all those Brad bots you have killed. You died that many times and